Whew, it is week 3 of Sunshine Enterprise, and today, today we covered. So I'm great at so many things that are uniquely me. I can wholeheartedly admit that the things that Ahi are uniquely good at, I'm really good at those things. But the things that I'm uniquely bad at, it always comes up, and I never want it to come up. Um, Finances, which I did not think it would come so early on in the program, but it's like, what's your business? Finances. Great. So last week we covered expenses and talking through like the different expenses that we need for our businesses. This week, budget. All my friends on these platforms who know me in real life know how bad I am with budgeting. And it's not so much of not knowing my numbers. I know the numbers. The problem is spending habits. That is where everything goes out the window. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm tackling it. This is what they call growth work. And it's just numbers. It won't hurt me looking at numbers. It's okay. It's going to be okay. So luckily, next week is spring break. So I have time to look at it, be traumatized, not look at it for a couple of days, then panic right before class and then do it. So I have time. I have time. Um, I think a bigger thing that impacted me today was talking through our why. That came up surprisingly tonight. And I decided to speak about my why. And it really has to do with my journey and the rough patches that I had in life and how I was able to get out of those rough patches and go into a completely different industry that I had no intentions of getting into, and seeing people see technology as a thing. They embrace that the culture is like changing around technology, is always changing around technology. And I felt like I didn't want to see our people fall behind due to lack of resources, lack of tools and skills that they can use around technology. And I didn't want to see people fall behind when it comes to innovation around technology. And I think that's the big piece for me because when I fell in love with technology, I remember the moment. I think I was in the IC Stars program, and in the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna be a blogger, and that's what I'm gonna do. And like, can't nobody tell me nothing. And I remember going to 1871. I remember going, and it was either that, it was 1871. I remember they had a hackathon, and I think it was my first time ever seeing what a hackathon was, like ever. And I'm very like, when I go into new spaces, I'm very quiet and I'm like, let me just learn what this is. And essentially I boiled it down to, oh, you could just have an idea and execute it and turn it into a business and make money. Like, ain't nobody gonna stop you. Like, I think I grew up with the whole, if you have a business, you have to have capital, you have to have people invest, you got to get a storefront, all that stuff. And it clicked in my head, oh, all I need is an idea and the internet and a computer to access the internet. And all I gotta do is learn some things to build this thing. I'm like, why are we not doing more of this? Why are we not doing more of this? And and me and my best friend, like, we're always, any idea we come up with is so funny because over our 20-year friendship, we have came up with so many random ideas and never executed them past 24 hours. I think the only thing I executed past 24 hours was Geek Empowered, and that lasted all these years. And I always wonder why we fell into that pit hole or that rabbit hole. Um, but I realized lots of people fall into that. And when I started talking to people, and when people started to see what I was doing, and they were like, "Oh, I wish I can do what you were doing," and this was way back when I like just started Icy Stars. I was like, "Well, you could do it. I just joined the program. Like, I'm not nothing special. Just come join the program." And I would constantly hear, "Technology's not for me. That's too much. I'm not going to be able to learn that stuff. That's not in my ministry." I heard that way more time. Like if I got a nickel for every time I heard that is not in my ministry, I wouldn't need to do none of this. I'll be rich. But every time I heard that from someone, it kind of broke my heart a little bit because I'm like, no matter what industry you're in, you need to be, you know, working with technology. And like it kept breaking my heart to see that people were passing up on their dreams, they were passing up on opportunities. Um, they were passing up on so much because life was lifing. Now that I'm older, I realized life was lifing. So I, for some reason, became very, very determined to make a ton of videos around tutorials on how to do things because what I started to see was people would start a business, like either selling candles or they're selling lotions or they're like doing fitness stuff. Like I would see them start a business, but then I will see that it will fall apart because they wasn't learning the tech part of it, or they will like hire a developer and that developer scammed them, or they like invested in this like product but they didn't know how to use it, so then they just like wasted all this money. So by the time I was connected with them, like they were just desperate. Like they were desperate because like everything had fallen apart. They need to make some type of income. They poured everything into this stuff, and that made me determined to make a crap ton of tutorials. I'm like, okay, I can't dedicate hours of my time or weeks of my time building up your stuff, but I could give you the plan. I could give you the videos. I think with some people, I would literally do one-on-one sessions with them and go through their hosting and go through their website and go through their social media. And I ended up learning so much because the business owners I was interacting with needed so much. So I would go study it on my own, practice it on my own, and then come back to them, which led to all of this. But my why is I don't want people to fall behind. I really don't. When it comes to technology, especially when it's doing so many innovative things, it is changing and impacting so many people. And I just hate seeing us fall behind. And I'm not going to cry. But today's session was great. I'm at my 8-minute mark, and LinkedIn, for some reason, hates my videos once it's past like a certain amount of time. So I'll catch you all next time. Y'all enjoy y'all Wednesday.